It's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in. We're gonna talk about what's going on in town. You never know who's gonna come around. On the Mark and Cindy
Good morning,
show.
everybody, in Montgomery County.
Hey, welcome to day 2 of After Spring Break. Something
true.
that really affected Cindy a great deal, not me so much. Today, Cindy,
Have you gotten
we
over
say
it?
this all the time. I don't care who's on our show. We say, this is going to be a special show. But this time,
is.
I really mean it. Those other times I was lying.
Oh,
That's
I hope
not
they're
true.
not
That is so not true. We got Rick Sellers here, and I mentioned it on Facebook and all. Just an all-around great actor. The voice, when you hear this man speak and sing, we'll have him sing a little later in the show.
great.
I may have made that up. I don't know.
You're gonna do
No.
our
and
theme song.
also an artiste, and there are so few of them.
really an artist.
You know, Rick is one of these guys that he is in this play, Inherit the Wind, and there are several people there, and I'll introduce him a little later, but the number of people I bump into that I don't know anything about their background, and then you start finding out, good grief! And there are so
didn't
many
know that.
valuable, talented individuals out here, and Rick is definitely one of them. Cindy, we have got not only Rick, but so many other things, and Cindy is waving. Oh, your earphone's not working.
I'm not hearing me.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Am I
lucky
there now?
duck.
Am
How
I
do
there?
you...
Am I there?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Cindy,
Okay,
can you
right.
hear this? Listen to this.
Okay, I can really hear you.
Yeah,
He's over-modulating.
I'm sorry. I sometimes, that's what several people
Quit
have told
modulating
me.
all over the
That's what
place.
the lady at the store...
Okay.
Did you know they got a new Goodyear blimp?
They kept the one from the original?
No, this
got a
is a
new-
new one. It's a new blimp. I don't think they had any of the others there.
Remember the one? It was down there near 1960 or something, and we would see the big
Yeah, okay.
blimp come out. They bring it out.
For blimp technology? Like, what's coming up in this year of blimp technology?
Yeah, but it's every other year, and it's the odd year, so it won't be this year.
So you've seen it?
No, I haven't. I saw it in the newspaper. It's in Ohio now, but it may come to Houston. I don't know. But the other blimp, I'm glad you
Yes.
mentioned that. Kay got to ride on the blimp. I forget why. Somebody she knew.
They wouldn't let her inside? Okay, what?
Yeah, no, they did. I'm sorry, Cindy. See, I didn't make that very clear. Yes,
you
she
did not.
rode inside the blimp. See, she wasn't on the blimp,
blimp,
Cindy.
okay,
That's
okay.
just special people. But also, Kay's got an attachment to the blimp, almost like on top of it. We lived in Lakeland. Anybody familiar?
No.
Okay. It had a bunch of lakes. It is on Earth, this one. It's not even in
Lakeland.
it's in the Netherlands. But she was out on the fishing pier, and the blimp came over, and Kay was waving, and all of a sudden she said this arm came out of the blimp thing, not from atop it, and the guy was doing this, waving at her, and
didn't
she
think you
said
could-
that was one of my special moments in life, and
I didn't think you could do that.
it was cool.
I didn't think
yeah.
they could put their arms out.
Oh,
and
no,
it
if
would be-
she had said the name of the guy that did it, he would be
Yeah, that would
arrested.
be-
But no.
That is very cool.
Dr. Jones and Jr.
I know that means something. It
That
doesn't
does.
mean a thing to me. What?
No. Nita Jones.
No.
Did no one seen Raiders or the Last Crusade?
Oh, I did.
That's right.
You know, I rate those Raiders
Blimps.
things
I just think of sandwiches. What?
along with Harry
Blimpy.
Potter. I watch them once and then I forget them. Same way with Raiders, except the first Raiders. That
Yeah.
one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that
But-
was.
There's only one Raiders.
No, there's not.
well, that's the name of it. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, the name.
That and Cindy, one other news story, and then
Yes.
I would like you to take this and go somewhere with it. I don't know how many of y'all saw this in the newspaper or wherever, but they now have chocolate helps you, specifically semi-sweet chocolate is supposed to help your heart rate and
it helps you in all
and
kinds
keep
of
you from
ways.
getting strokes. So what they've done is they've said, people have got to, eating chocolate must be a horrible experience just to get your heart
What?
health. So they've come up with a chocolate pill. You take the pill
Oh,
so
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
have
no.
to eat the chocolate.
No,
what kind of
no,
idiot
no.
invented that?
That's right. Nobody's going to buy that.
Really?
I
Oh, yeah,
want
give me the pill.
real
I want
thing.
No woman on this world would go with that one.
Really?
That's exactly right.
I want the cherry stuffed pill. Oh gosh.
No, that'll never happen. I just don't buy stock in that. That's all I'm
No,
telling you. You know,
no.
that's okay. So did you realize that yesterday
Mm-hmm.
we never said the word Malaysian?
We did not.
We did not talk about. I mean,
Nor did we
gave all
say-
of our listeners a rest.
Papua New Guinea. We
We didn't
just
say that, and we didn't talk about Putin.
no. We
See, I have to
didn't.
say that once in a while because
I know.
my
Vladimir?
grandchildren listen and they go, "Well, what's his first name?" I said, "Vladimir," and they went, "Oh my word!"
Let's call him VP.
Yes,
Vlad.
I said, that's a horrible name. But anyway, so not only is Rick Sellers here to talk about the
Oh, yes.
play and his artwork with glass and all, but we're going to ask him what he thought happened to the Malaysian
the
airline
Malaysian
because they've asked everybody
They
else
have.
in the whole wide world.
I
I can't believe these shows that have everybody on it. They don't know anything, but they say, well, "What do you think?"
Wait
well,
a minute. See, now
I
you're.
thought I might sue him for trying to steal our format, but I think that everybody has been asked this and don't know a thing about it.
You know what?
So I think I could talk about it.
I like.
What I think.
I tape everything now on DVR, and I tape the news. And anytime the reporter's talking, and then all of a sudden they show somebody that the reporter's talking to about a murder or a shooting, I
Right.
fast forward because I don't care what they say or
about
their
it.
opinion
Right.
of stuff, and unless they look good or something.
Right.
But or
that's-
they're slobbering. Those two extremes will make me keep
and
watching.
then to have these experts argue about what they think happened is hilarious. Like, shut up until we know something.
No news on this Malaysian thing, and yet they will talk 15 minutes about here's what could have happened. By the way, Malaysia just said such and
Right,
such.
right. Well, when that explosion happened in downtown New York in Harlem, they had that explosion. The building collapsed.
Oh, yes, yes.
And they spent all day watching the smoke and talking about it and what could have happened and where that came from. And they had from terrorism to somebody that went by and threw a bomb in there. It was just amazing what they make up and keep you trying to be excited about it.
One of
to
the
listen.
many billion things that amazes me is like in the United States, there will be a rail car disaster or a train wreck.
Train wreck.
Yeah, one of those two things. Airplane, whatever. There'll be terrible, and you'll see this wreckage everywhere, and they'll say 3 people were killed and 28 injured. And that's terrible.
It is.
You take that same thing to Britain or France, 182 people. What happens in the United States that they'll blow up a building or something like you talk about?
And only 2 dead.
We're so blessed.
Yes, we are. We know
Yeah.
how to. I think it's because of all the reporter and all the press that get
That's
there.
it.
They're there to help, with getting people out and all that. If it wasn't for the press, that's what's so funny is that when these things happen, that's who you see most. That's who's there.
That's it.
That's the people that are the most caring about it. But when you have a 24-hour news cycle, you have to come up with something.
CNN.
Dedicate to it. I don't know if anyone watches the news.
More than one.
Yeah, just read it.
Well, and you need to turn off the news once in a while and go and have a spring break from the news because you will
right.
feel better. You oh, that happened. Well, it didn't. And it's not like, well, it's not affecting me. I don't care. That's not the point. It's just that you need to not hear all that bad junk that they're trying to fill your head with. Because I know that, Mark, you've got to fill your head with better things than that.
I have
right?
to, Cindy, because it just hurts too much.
Yes, like evolution
Oh,
trials
gosh.
is so deep. I cannot wait to get into this, to delve into it.
Do scene 2, act 2.
I can't
Lord.
unless I hear. Yeah, really.
No, you
have
have to
no
work
idea.
your way up to it,
Oh,
don't you?
no kidding. And
You're
I
just
don't
like-
give cues very well because and Rick will be the first one. Sometimes I'll get the words reversed or whatever. And the guy playing Quentin, what's his name?
Bishop.
Bishop. I'm listening at one point to 2 words. He says the word punishment. I say I object. He says the word world, and I say we will pay no amount of a fine. And he's like me. He's changing it. He doesn't say
Oh,
punishment.
no.
He says something else. I'm just looking at him. I object. And then I'm waiting for world, and it doesn't come. See, that's
that's
not
a
a
hard-
sign of a good actor.
Well, no, but that's hard to follow because people do take liberties with it, and you're not going with the concept. You're going. You have to hit that
Right,
word.
right.
That's horrible.
That's true.
It
And
reminds
I
me
go
of
with concepts, and
I'll tell you what. It reminds me of the guys that they drop off at the end of the block, and they go down the block, and they're selling candy, and they get up there and they knock on the door. They open the door. They go like, "Hello, my name is Stephen Smith. I am here to sell candy for the group that helps all the younger people that don't have any." I said, "Wait a minute. I don't eat candy. Sorry. No, but what you're doing this for who?" I am Stephen Smith, and I am working. You can't ask
Right.
them a question inside their little spiel, and it's horrible. So I understand script. Memorizing script is hard.
Oh, she has.
Well, I had to after he had to do it 5 times.
You
I
know,
had to-
one of the good
had to buy
lines is,
something.
"Oh, I just talked to your neighbor, Mr. So-and-so over there," and he could say any name because I don't know my neighbors very well. And he said that you were good at doing such and such.
And you go like,
"Oh,
really?
yes, I want to buy what you."
No, I say like that's a miracle because he died 2 weeks ago. I don't. That's amazing.
You
No,
know,
I got that.
Speaking of dying, I hope Inherit the Wind does, and I hope it does very well. And if it does, one of the big reasons is going to be our guest that we're going to be talking to after these few words in just a second. Rick Sellers, he has got a very important role in this. He is the preacher involved in this
Oh, boy.
case in the town of Hillsboro. And keep in mind, the real town was Scopes.
No.
Scopes.
Scopes was the guy's name who was, don't think I don't know this. And Rick's going to tell you the name of it in just a little bit when
But
we
he
come
knows
back.
his lines for the
He's
play.
got
He does.
his lines.
And so
He's
does what's your name,
converted
Mark?
me.
Yeah, Mark knows
Yeah.
this too.
He
We don't forget
does.
things
He
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 does.
does, Scopes.
You're listening to the Mark and Cindy Show on Internet Radio.
Back in a minute.
Ain't exactly small. 4-2-3-9-56. You can say she got it.
Hey y'all, Montgomery County Emergency Assistance is presenting their first annual Don't Mess with Texas Women Concealed Handgun class on Saturday, April 12th at the Conroe Shooting Center, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's limited to 30 participants. It's just $100 with all proceeds benefiting Montgomery County Emergency Assistance. Register online at mcea-tx.org. Bring your gun and let's have some fun. Don't Mess with Texas Women Concealed Handgun class, April 12, 2014, and all proceeds benefit Montgomery County Emergency Assistance. Hi, I'm Joyce with the Corner Pub in downtown Conroe. We're located at the corner of Simonton and North Main, just across the street from the courthouse. The week starts off Monday with open mic hosted by Alan, and Tuesday nights open mic hosted by Jeremy Bankhead. And on Thursday evening, McFarland Jams. There's nightly drink specials available every night, all night. And don't forget, live entertainment every weekend. To see a full list of events, visit our website at thecornerpubinconroe.com. So come join us at the Corner Pub, where the deli is open late.
Tune in at 3 o'clock every Wednesday for Aperture and Shutter Speed with me, Tom Moore of TR Moore Photos.
And me, Dick.
If you are an amateur or expert, or if you haven't ever picked up an SLR camera before, Aperture and Shutter Speed is a show for anyone who loves photography and film.
Join the conversation with us by calling in or emailing us your questions. If you want to know what's coming up on Aperture and Shutter Speed, just look up our show page on irlonestar.com or look us up on Facebook.
Join us every Wednesday at 3 p.m. for Aperture and Shutter Speed, and remember,
Take your lens cap off.
Never had a woman like you. Doing all the things you do.
You know, that's what happens when Cindy chooses the music that we go
That's my
into.
favorite part
Really.
of the song.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mark and Cindy Show, and we are here with Rick Sellers, who is, oh gosh, he's a lot of things. He's a great actor.
You watch AC/DC
Sellers.
during a lot of Rosie, they have a blow up.
A blow up?
Takes up the entire stage, and it's Rosie. It's this huge one with tattoos, and so it's great.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. Can you put
Did
that on
remind
YouTube?
You of me?
I'm sure it is.
Rick, what town did the Scopes Monkey trial really take place in?
Now we're back.
Now we're back. We're here.
Dayton, Tennessee.
Dayton, Tennessee, son of a gun! I get, and really, I didn't. Even when you told me, it didn't sound right to me. So yeah, but you know, at least it's not the name of the guy that was on trial or anything. Scopes.
He was found guilty, only fined $100.
Yeah.
Yes, that is right.
Hey, could you find out about what happened after
That's a lot
that?
of money back then.
Like what happened after that? Because Darrow said he was going to appeal, and I wonder if it even went to appeal. But right now, we are going to go with Rick Sellers. Rick, first, I'd like to talk about your acting career, how it started, and a little bit about what you've been in, some of the
Sure.
segments?
Well,
please?
first of all, I find this kind of difficult because I don't have a script in front of me, so
That-
it's kind of
This
it's kind
man
of tough.
never had trouble.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I keep forgetting. No, I've been acting since I was 16.
Goodness.
Yeah, my first role was Bernardo in West Side Story. Wow. 16 in high school.
cool.
Yeah, I even had the paper clippings, the old program and everything from it. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Great.
You know, Rick, you didn't ask me, but I played the detective, what's his name in West Side Story? It doesn't matter, but I didn't have to sing or dance. But anyway, okay, that was 16. Where was this? California? Or
California,
That's where
yes.
On your sheet, like I do not want to sing.
Right, no, they just said, hey, Mark, we need somebody who doesn't sing in this play.
Well, thank God he wasn't Officer Krumke. That
That's
wouldn't
who I
have been good.
was.
You were
Yeah.
Krumke? Okay,
Yeah,
all
Krumke.
right.
I'm sorry. Anyway, you, in California, how the heck did you get over here?
My parents kind of landed here, and my father had a little stroke, and I came here to take care of him.
Oh, good. That's, see, every time somebody says something, I relate it to my life, so I'm not going to do that anymore.
You're getting to know somebody.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
how- yes.
something like that.
That's how
yes,
you-
I'm learning a bunch of
That's how you
people.
get to know someone.
He asked all kinds of questions backstage. I
Okay,
did.
surely somebody down the road influenced you into acting. What was it? Was it your voice alone that did it? I mean, you've got a voice that if I wish I had your voice and you had a wart on your nose. See, I don't know what that
Ooh.
means.
Like
Relating
yours.
it-
Exactly. Like
Okay.
this big honker I got here. How did you, I mean, people have talked to you about your voice, haven't they?
Yes,
And
yes.
And you sing?
I sing by myself in the car, and I sound really great by myself.
You haven't been in these musicals?
I've been
at
in
all?
musicals.
Okay, and you have singing
I
parts.
have sung.
But you know, in
I
musicals,
know.
though, don't you find that you don't have to necessarily be able to sing? Because I've heard a lot of people that when they do it, they're like
Clint Eastwood.
mimicking a singer
Right.
in the role.
A musical is an entertainment
Right.
gig, and you have to entertain the audience. So you can talk, sing.
Right.
You can do things to change that.
Right.
But musicals aren't my thing.
They're
you
not
know,
your thing.
no.
I understand.
You've done Shakespeare a
Yes,
lot too,
love
haven't
Shakespeare,
you?
yes.
How or what was your first Shakespearean play, and what age were you, by the way?
I was 18. I did Shakespeare in the Park in Griffith Park in Los Angeles.
Oh, good night.
My first my first role was King Lear, so that was fun.
Holy
Now, when
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
when they do that, and they say Shakespeare in the Park, because we've seen it some in movies, a little bit of it,
Mm.
but it's set up. People know that this is where y'all are going to be.
Yes.
It's not like you do the mob scene. You just start
Right.
doing Shakespeare. But they gather around, and do they interject into while you're doing the
Absolutely,
the play?
absolutely.
Oh,
There's an
that's-
audience participation type
There is,
thing.
okay.
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
And it's fun. Absolutely. You get to interact with the audience. That fourth wall is broken because they're right there. And, you know, with Shakespeare, you have to have the right group of people. Otherwise, you know, it's hard to understand the actors. And
Sure.
so you have to understand what's going on. And it's only one act. Scenes, it's scenarios, it's different things. So you're not going to sit and watch a whole, you know, play like Macbeth or, you know, King
Right.
Lear or even Midsummer Night's Dream. You're not going to do that. But it's really cool to sit there and have 3 or 4 of these one acts.
Well, it's great exposure to the people, that kind of, some culture.
Absolutely.
But why don't we do that here? Why don't we do that in
There's
the park down
obvious
We
there?
are
reasons,
working on
but-
it.
Oh, we are
Are you
working.
really?
Absolutely. Cindy Seipel and is working on getting something like that going, yes.
Great. See,
I cannot. I mean, it's more. It's difficult enough for me just to memorize normal lines, but Shakespeare.
I'll agree to that.
That has got to. Shake-a-bum-bum.
do you
Yeah.
have any?
Yes,
do you
that's
have
true.
Any, do you have any things that you do? What's your strategy about remembering lines and all that?
It's really funny. I memorize my lines and I'll say them to myself in the bathroom because you can hear you constantly run your lines in your head. You constantly say them. Once you memorize them, you can bring the character in, and you have to create that character as an actor.
So you're memorizing the lines. You're not
Mm-hmm.
doing it with any kind of inflection or emphasis until you get the character inside of it.
Right. Exactly.
That's the way Rick does it.
How do you do it, Mark?
When I'm in his bathroom, I actually, from the very beginning, I start, and I wish I could quit. Just saying, all I want to do is memorize the lines. I have trouble, not acting out, and it slows you down like a bunch for me. Kay helps me. She reads, and then...
You've got to have somebody reading off of you.
Yeah.
You're reading the lines with
But
you.
you
absolutely.
get, I don't know, you don't get, but I get very upset sometimes. I'll be reading, and she'll correct me right there. I don't like to be corrected right there, but he says
You
such
don't
and
like
such.
to be
Okay,
corrected
such and
right
such.
there or
I'm in the
right
moment,
there.
yes.
But
But
my wife and I have had a few discussions about that.
man.
Yes, yeah.
And it gets to where I don't even want to say the next line. I'm realizing I don't know the exact words here. She's going to hammer me, but here it is. Oh,
Yes.
Because I always go into the part where it says it's a lady, like during the radio play, and that was supposed to be the lady who was supposed to be there's gone. So I was like, oh, John. And then everyone's like, just looks at him like, why don't do that? It makes us all laugh. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get you into the part.
Yeah, there you go.
that helps.
Staying in, well, like staying in character. Do you try and get in character how long before you get on the stage, or do you start living that character so many days before the play?
No, I have a tendency to bring my characters home with me. Oh yeah, I do. My wife loved a few of the characters, and she hated a few of them. Yeah. But yeah, I do live them to a certain extent.
So you role play in your marriage is what you're saying?
Pretty much.
No,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, sure,
I didn't know
why
for
not?
sure.
Yeah.
Is that what you were
I bet-
saying? Okay.
Sherry would love that.
I bet she hated To Kill a Mockingbird if you brought
She
that
did.
home. Oh, gosh.
She did.
That you did, from what I hear, I didn't get to see it. You did excellent because people said they hated the daylights out of you.
Oh, they did. I got all kinds of sneers and bad looks on Bobby Ule. That was a bad one.
That was,
No, I loved
that
it.
is- yeah,
Absolutely.
I-
Booed
Yeah.
at the end. I love getting booed.
Oh, that's very good.
If you're
you
that
can work
kind-
up the audience. Like,
Yes.
that's very good.
oh,
Well,
gosh.
then my next character was during the Fantastics. I played a clown.
Oh, gosh, that's scary.
Yeah, it was, but I won the Monty Award for that, and it was an absolute fun
Oh,
role.
great.
You know, we broke the fourth wall. I got to go out to the audience before the show. I got to interact with them. Being a clown, I had the full
Oh,
white
that's very
face and the
cool.
nose, and it was so much fun.
Well,
Great
they say in that, like New York, when they play those big theaters and they have all those people out there and they're so far away from them, but they still feel like at least I have reaction. I can hear the reaction. I can feel the audience where I can't when I'm doing movies and things like that. So they really love that part of
You
it.
feed off of the audience. Absolutely, you feel their energy. Mm-hmm. And in this play, we get to break the fourth wall too.
Yeah.
And we get to interact with the audience.
What do you ask them?
We don't ask them questions, but we talk to them. Like as the Reverend Brown, I'm preaching, and I'm preaching. They're my parish. They're the people who came.
Right.
So I'm really getting to them. I'm Hellfire Damnation.
Oh, you are.
Oh
You're
yeah,
those guys. Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
Pulpit pounding, Bible
That-
thumping.
Oh, that's gonna be fun because a lot of people that didn't see the movie or that maybe not gone and seen the play haven't seen the play yet. You need to give us a little bit of the background of it. Somebody does. Who's the historian of it?
I'm not the historian, but Rick, you just jump in anytime. You can jump in now if you want. 1925, there was a teacher in Dayton, Ohio, and
Dayton, Tennessee.
of course, it's Tennessee. You know,
course.
they've actually got the Tennessee flag in there, which
Yes.
looks odd to me. 3 stars in a circle.
And this
Anyway,
really
and he
happened.
was yes, it did. And anyway, he was brought on trial for teaching evolution in
His last name was Scopes.
Scopes. And by the way, my understanding was it wasn't his idea. He didn't care to do it. He was encouraged. And I don't know if the ACLU was there or what back then. I doubt it. But they wanted him to do it, and they did get Clarence Darrow, top-notch lawyer. And Williams Jennings Bryan was 3 times Democratic candidate for president, and he was the prosecutor, or he was helping the Tennessee prosecutor in the case. And anyway, it was one of those. It was like the O.J. Simpson trial back in 1925. And anyway, that's pretty much the history of it. And today, by the way, I understand Tennessee is still in their
with it.
legislature grappling with putting creationism as a part of an explanation of
Kansas is doing the same thing. It's a very poignant play nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. And
That
that's
is true. It could have been done like yesterday, but that's what I liked about it is because it was biblically based as far as Williams.
Jennings Bryan.
Yeah, he's
yes.
the one it was biblically based for, and that him fighting that it would seem like that would have been really difficult to find a jury that would be balanced about
1925,
that.
yes.
Yeah, you-
1925
you
especially.
couldn't, and they didn't back then. But that whole the play is loosely based on that. In the real story, I believe Clarence Darrow was a out and out atheist, my understanding, and in the play they're a little more generous with
Oh,
his
really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
with him. But the
Don't want to give
outcome
out the
was-
end now.
Yes. Oh gosh, no.
Yeah,
but
don't-
the outcome was pretty much the same. Anyway, this guy Rick is his sermon. It'll have you throwing at him, or it'll have you on your feet saying hallelujah.
Absolutely.
He is real
I
good.
want the audience to just give it all to me.
Yeah.
Now, tell me what kind of research, what kind of study you did, and who did you go and what preacher did you do this after? Who are you thinking of? Who's
It's
in your
multiple
head?
multiple preachers. I went on YouTube. I got all kinds of 1950s, which is what the director has set this play time frame in.
Ah, okay.
It's not set in 25.
Okay.
So I looked at that, old time revivals. I looked at all kinds of Southern things and pulled something out. The director gave me a few, directions on which way to go, and I've created my background on the guy. And as the actor, you need to create something on this character, his background. Even though you don't know it, you make it up.
But how far do you go? Like when he was a little kid,
Yeah,
or how far
absolutely.
do you go back to?
You can go back as far as you want. That helps you with the character. I think this man, Reverend Brown, was raised on the backwoods farm, and he was, his father was a pulpit pounder, and he married his high school sweetheart, and she died when the child was born, which is Rachel, and he had to raise her by herself, and it was very difficult for him. And I mean, I could go on and
now
on.
that's
It's
how.
just-
Now that's what you did.
Yes,
you,
what I
you
did, yes.
created that. We don't know his background.
No.
And so you create. That is so great. I'm sitting here going, "Oh, Rachel, poor Rachel."
Right.
You just made that up. That's
That
amazing.
is- yes, that's De Niro stuff.
Well, you know
Please.
what Laurence Olivier said.
Yes.
That when he did a show with, I think
Dustin
it was
Hoffman?
With
Dustin Hoffman,
yeah.
yeah.
He said Dustin Hoffman went to way too much trouble. I mean, that guy, like, I think he went and had a tooth pulled or something to really make his
he
scene
stayed up
work
48
right. He stayed
hours.
up all
Oh,
night,
yeah.
and he lost weight. He looked horrible, and I said, "What is wrong with you?" And he's told me this is how he does his method. You know, this is his way to get into the character and be in the character. And he goes, "How long do you take doing this, Mr. Olivier?" And he goes, I guess when I get to the end of the stage and I'm getting ready to go on, and then I decide, okay, and then I get into it. And he said, "That's all you do?" And he goes, "Well, that's what an actor should be able to do at any time." And Dustin Hoffman said it made him feel so stupid after he'd gone through all this, how silly he looked to Laurence Olivier. But I know that that's what they say, is that's how much in depth you have to go to really make that happen.
You create that character in the very beginning of the rehearsal process, and then you have that in the back of your mind. So you don't really. I like to bring my characters home because they're fun characters. I played a Russian guy with Boris, and my wife Sherry, my beautiful wife Sherry, loved Boris. 'Cause I saw
I'm telling you,
I
this
loved it.
is just
It was
this
good.
is great stuff. Thank you,
Ladies and
Rick.
gentlemen, when we come back in a few seconds, we're going to look a little bit into the art facet with respect to Rick
Right.
Sellers, and we'll be back in just couple of minutes.
Did you know there are over 800 abused children in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Susan, a volunteer with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. April is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. Casa Child Advocates trains and supports volunteers to be the voice of children who have been removed from their home because of abuse or neglect. We need volunteers just like you to speak up for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com or call 936-441-5437.
It takes something special to make it in the business world. Montgomery County is fortunate to have a diverse pool of industries and businesses. Join me, Cassandra Roshan, Director of Membership Development with the Greater Conroe, Lake Conroe Area Chamber of Commerce for Mind Your Business. I will sit down with our chamber members to talk history, community involvement, and get some tips of the trade on how to be successful in our current business environment. Tune in on the third Tuesday of each month at 11 a.m. to hear from our members of the Greater Conroe, Lake Conroe Area Chamber of Commerce talk about their professional experiences. I guarantee you will walk away with insight of how to mind your business.
Since the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo awarded its first scholarship, we have sent nearly 15,000 students to college on show scholarships. Just this year, 2,000 students are attending more than 100 Texas colleges and universities on show scholarships worth nearly $30 million. Combined with the junior market auction money, livestock and horse show premiums and prizes, cat scramble awards, school art auction money, judge and contest prizes, grants to universities, and funds to cultural, community, and civic organizations, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has committed more than $350 million to youth and education throughout Texas. Learn more at rodeohouston.com.
Good morning again. Good morning again. It's only 10:30, so it's okay. It's still good morning.
I wish y'all could have seen Cindy doing her air guitar impersonation thing
Headbanger.
during that. She is
And
unbelievably talented.
headbanging too.
Yeah, the hair was flying.
Yeah, I was on the cusp of that. In my age group. Did you like heavy metal?
No, I did not, except AC/DC's. Just the screaming part I really liked for some
And it seemed
reason.
like I remember we called it underground music. It wasn't heavy metal. We called it
Yeah.
underground music, right?
Yeah.
It was weird
Y'all-
music.
Y'all can see this on YouTube later, but I'm holding up a piece of. Actually, Rick, this was your first.
No, not my first one.
Was it?
No.
I
Mosaic.
couldn't have been his first one.
No, it's not my first one.
Rick is the owner, president of RS Mosaics, I believe it is.
Yes.
Is it not?
.com.
And my understanding, if when y'all do get a chance to see this, is you didn't start this particular type of glass work until very recently,
Right.
didn't you?
Exactly.
Explain that to us.
Well, I started. My 9-year-old at the time, grandniece, came over to for the weekend, and she wanted to make Christmas presents for everybody. So we got together. And my wife is as great as a mother as she is. She took her little grandniece in her arms, and she made little coasters for everybody.
Bless her heart.
And it was so wonderful. I'm looking and going, I could do that.
Oh, you said
my
no. I
Lord.
could make a glass to put on that.
Well,
coaster.
that came a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Because we went to a nationally known hardware store, and we got all kinds of scrap tile, scrap glass, scrap everything, and it was real cheap. And I started making, crosses. I started making peace signs. I started making butterflies, Celtic knots. I started making all kinds of stuff on, just mosaics. And then I made the dragon on that, as you see there. And go, oh, that's beautiful. It's stained glass, isn't it? I go, well, I have stained glass on it, but it isn't. Let me put it on a piece of plexiglass and see what happens. So I started putting them on plexiglass, and, well, it didn't really look like stained glass. So I had put some grout on it, and, wow, that looks like stained glass. I can do that.
On plexiglass?
Mhm.
How do you
I
cut
think you could
it?
do
Is
that.
it
Oh, I
just
cut
like
it myself,
glass?
just like glass. I
Okay.
cut it's all glass, and I cut it just like stained glass, and I'm sitting there tapping. I've got a little shop in my back.
Are you holding this particular piece here with the Houston Texan logo on
Right.
it for next year, or is that what?
Well,
you're holding
actually,
back?
that is. I was thinking about donating that. That is a piece I made for myself. I can make anything for somebody like that as long as it's requested.
Oh, okay.
So I can't just arbitrarily make a Texan logo and sell it because it's.
Oh, that's right. It's trademarked. That's true.
Right.
That's so true. Well, you could have made the eye a little on the other side
Well,
or something like
no,
that.
it's fine this way. I made it for
Okay.
myself, and I'm going to donate it. I
Okay.
can't turn around and sell it.
That's okay. Then it keeps
Right.
it all legal and stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think they're going to do better next year, so it'll be even
Really big thing,
come to-
yes.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. But this is a heavy piece.
I've made Texas A&M logos, a lot of Texas A&M logos.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah.
You
and
have?
I've been commissioned by an actual alumni, and they if you're an alumnus, you can produce that logo and give it out.
Okay,
and
well,
use
that
it.
makes sense. And your do people come to you with ideas, or are you just sitting and creating your own ideas?
No, people come to me with ideas. They have a thought in mind. People want. This one client of mine has a bathroom window, 4 foot by 5 foot bathroom window, and she wants bamboo because she has a bamboo theme in her bathroom. So I was going to put bamboo like around the edges of her window, she can still see through it. Has a little bit of glass, but yet it looks like bamboo, and it's something that I can design myself.
Now, in the I guess the 70s, George Mitchell's son, Scott Mitchell, in the Woodlands, right around, I guess, real close to the entrance where Gosling is and all. I don't know if you're familiar with around that area, but he started building homes, and he put stained glass in those homes, and
Right.
and it showed. I mean, what it did was it dated it, but it still went on. I mean, it wasn't something that, well, I get that stained glass out of there, or I won't buy it. And we bought his first tree house, and they had stained glass all through the thing, and it was beautiful.
Right. Well, the good thing about my stained glass, it's repairable. That if it does break, I can fix it.
Or if you want a different design,
Or
you can,
you can put right,
don't
or whatever
think
you
so.
want. You can put it on your window. You can take it off.
Oh, it's applicable.
Yes, yes. Well, you can put Velcro does wonders. You can hold 500 pounds.
I didn't think about that, because that was the problem. Is if you went in there and you didn't like stained glass, that
You
was
take it
like,
off.
Yeah.
Plus,
But
it's
this-
insulating
yeah
on the window.
Of course, yeah.
It's hypoallergenic. You can clean
that
it.
means everything to me. is the
Everything.
hypoallergenic.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
that's
you
awesome.
do stained glass before this?
No.
or-
No, I
Did
didn't.
you ever done it?
No.
Son of gun.
Never did it.
This,
It's just
if
when you're
this-
talented, you're talented. That's all there is. You can do anything you want to do. You're talented.
Oh.
Do you have a place people go to, or they just contact you over
They contact me through my website.
through the website?
And what's that?
Or that's rsmosaics.com.
Mosaics.
Or
Okay.
they can call me on my phone number.
What
Spell
the heck
mosaic.
is that?
936-647-9526.
Boy, that's close to ours.
926. Let me ask you
close to our
this, and
number.
it's something that a normal person that's not familiar with the artistic aspect of anything. How long would it take you to do, say, that window? How big did you say that was? If I
That was 4.5 by 5.5 window.
okay.
We need to show it on YouTube.
I
though.
do.
We can
Well,
do that. Nobody
yeah.
can
Yeah,
anybody
thanks,
reach it.
Rick.
I love
Sure,
it.
I'll pull that
What
around
the-
there for you.
Okay.
How much? And I'm
That window there.
referring
Show
to
and
this one. How long would that take you?
That took about 8 days.
Okay. And if that was stained glass, that would be
4 months.
4 months. And it probably cost more, you think?
Oh, you think?
Yes, I think
oh,
so.
yeah. I bring 2/3 the cost down.
Son of gun.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Well,
And he's done. I would like to see a bigger display of the many things you've done. But boy, from what I have seen, it is spectacular. And you were an artist. You still are, I imagine. You painting
Nope.
oils.
Nope. Nope.
Rick.
No.
How did?
Never done
What made you think? Hey, I think I'll do this.
I just
Look
it,
how
it
much
just happened.
bigger-
It
look how much
evolved.
bigger his
it
right-
evolved. Do you like
yeah,
that?
I love
I
the
like
word
Evolution.
evolve.
It evolved.
The right side of your brain is so much bigger anyway, so that must be the reason why,
you
because
go.
he's right brain, and that's what.
I
and
like
Mark is
that.
looking at me like,
Right
what does
brain,
that have to
left
do with
brain.
right brain? Is the
No.
artistic?
Yeah.
I think you have
part
to have a
of
brain.
it.
Okay.
So
That's the part of mine that.
you missed that part.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Yeah, my sister's so left brain. She's a CPA, so she walks this way, and then I walk that. But it really is true that some people that the analytical and all that thinking, and when you take those tests, those personality tests, have you always come out as the artist and
Pretty much.
performer?
Yes.
and that
yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I've always been a performer.
and you're a pleaser, right?
I was 3 years old
Yeah.
singing "Hello Dolly" to everybody, and yeah, it was fun.
See, it happens so young, and then you've never gotten over it, have you?
Well, no, I really haven't, because I was out of it for like 20 years, 25 years.
You stepped out off the stage.
Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
Well,
yeah, that was
my
his
career.
stint in Huntsville.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
behind us now.
Yeah,
No,
you don't
I'm
mention
he
that.
was-
No.
Now you were working to make sure that when you got that part that you would be ready for it. You were trying to live the parts and have some life experiences so that you could actually
There you
have
go.
something to draw on
There
instead
you
of
go.
having to make up all these people.
Yeah, have a career. Get that quality engineering job going.
Yes, he
Yes,
was
right. A steady
involved in
paycheck.
aerospace and
Yes,
all, I understand.
yes,
Quality,
aerospace.
what the heck?
Good grief.
Quality control with respect
Yes.
to what?
Manufacturing, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's basically a step down from a quality manager or a quality director. And you do have to go to school for it, and you do have to get a degree for it. But it's a step up from just a regular old inspector.
But I would think you would be very hated in any factory.
Very
or
much.
Something. Yes, that's
Very much so.
Well, what do you mean? Look at that. That's going to hold up. I'm sorry, sir.
Oh,
so
yeah.
see, that's where you get that experience of people hating you and throwing things at you, and
Yeah.
now you're you're ready for the stage. And
Absolutely.
Now Richard's been trying to find as many really ripe tomatoes as he possibly could when he goes tomorrow.
I don't doubt it. Yes.
Yeah, he's.
Yes. Yes, it is actually rotten tomatoes.
They go past the ripe, they're into rotten. Well, I felt bad.
They'll be right.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping I could get.
I'll dodge them. It's all right.
Waste that. That's terrible. That's true. Don't want to get rid of them. But Mark is going to do so well.
Absolutely.
When y'all are doing all the rehearsals, especially the last rehearsal. How did he do?
Last night, he did.
I would say
No,
it's
he
one of
did
my worst.
absolutely. He really
Okay,
did
that
well.
was more than a pregnant pause.
Yeah, it was.
I
He
believe.
did really well, and I was trying to think of the right word to use, but he does so well with the paraphrasing. If he can't come up with the word, he
will.
paraphrases, and it's okay. And I think if he sat on his hands, he wouldn't be able to talk.
That's true. And
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
they've been riding my butt over
Yeah,
that.
his hands go everywhere.
I cannot, and I'm supposed to be. I mean, I'm 64. I guess I'm supposed to be older than that. I think Daryl was 74.
74,
like that
yes.
at the time. I move. I'm a fat guy, but I still
But
move
you're moving?
like And Mark, please don't do that. So it's
They're trying
tough.
to, but they don't let you do this or anything,
But-
right?
Yeah,
And
he
I-
does that. Yes. Yes.
You get
Oh,
to-
yeah.
You have to do that?
He put that. Yes.
Anyway,
I don't want
it's,
to tell him what that means in sign language because he'll have to go
No,
wash
no,
his
no, no.
hands. But it's okay.
I've got a few dirty words myself in sign
Thanks
language.
a lot, Cindy. I think you've done that to me before. But Rick, I mean, and I know we don't have much time left, and I'm sorry, I wanted to keep going with your mosaics and all, but I did want to ask you this. You know, a person who's been in so many theater productions and all, my thought is when you get a director that is telling you something and you know that's not what I should
Exactly.
do. How do you handle
That's a
stuff
tough
like
one.
that?
I
That is
came
a
into
tough-
that today.
Oh, did you?
Recently.
Okay.
With Don, I mean, he's a great director, and I love him to death. He's a great man, and he has a vision. And I really had a hard time getting the Reverend the way he wanted it. Yeah. And I really had to start going with my, Southern accent. I really had to give it that pull, the Lord says you need to, you got to pull that Southern thing going.
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted.
Yeah, that's what he wanted until I got that. Yeah, he wasn't satisfied. And I go, no, that's not the way you're supposed to play him. I didn't want to play him that way.
That is tough. And here's what I'm finding out, and we have got to take a break. But, it's like in writing, like my column, I could read it. Okay, it's good. I'll read it another hour. I'll change it.
You got to walk away sometimes.
We are in there and we're doing something, and all of a sudden, okay, Mark, you need to do this, and it's the opposite of what you were told before. Okay, and it's just getting it all straight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Sellers, and we are just pleased as punch to have him here. We're going to have him back at some point.
I'm Cindy Cochran, and he's Mark Hader,
Yeah.
and you're on the Mark and Cindy show. And Rick, thank you so much for coming.
Rick,
and
thank
So much
being
fun,
here
Cindy.
with us.
Loved it. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, you betcha.
Thank you, Dick.
Back in a minute with an encouraging word.
I'm Lauren Maddox for Lone Star College System. Discover all that Lone Star College Montgomery offers at Maverick Mania Open House, coming to Lone Star College Montgomery on Tuesday, April 1st from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Take a campus tour, visit with representatives from every academic program, and get your admissions and financial aid questions answered. There will even be information on the academic and workforce programs offered at Lone Star College Conroe Center. Those who pre-register online and then attend the event will be eligible for a prize drawing for free tuition for the fall semester. So plan now to attend Maverick Mania at Lone Star College Montgomery on Tuesday, April 1st. All the details are online at lonestar.edu/openhouse-Montgomery. I'm Lauren Maddox for Lone Star College System.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
Income tax time is here. If you earned less than $52,000 in 2013, Montgomery County United Way in Entergy, Texas, want you to know how to get your taxes prepared absolutely free. Beginning February 1st, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, known as VITA, will provide professionally trained volunteers to prepare your return in a way that is safe, free, and confidential. And they will help you see if you qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit. That could mean up to $6,000 in your pocket and in our community. Montgomery County United Way improves lives of all our residents by mobilizing the caring power of our community. We want all our neighbors to have the opportunity to live healthy lifestyles, have access to education, and to improve your financial independence. This tax season, don't pay hundreds of dollars to have your taxes done. Locate a VITA site in Montgomery County by logging on to mcuw.org or find a site near where you live or work by calling 211. And please remember, give, advocate, and volunteer. Together, that is how we improve lives and live united.
Well, if that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what. Wow.
Hey.
Okay.
I've got the jitters now. I don't know.
And I didn't drink any caffeine. Wow. I don't know how those guys kept that kind of energy up on the stage. It must have
Drugs.
The drugs helps.
I was going to say. Okay, they answered that question for me. Listen, for tomorrow, you have to be with us tomorrow. We have another wonderful guest. Her name's Rena Bettle. Beadle. Wouldn't you pronounce that Bettle? And just Rena is all I know. Rena Bettle. Anyway, she and her husband had gone through a horrific bankruptcy.
Oh, I was
They had
gonna say
5 sons. His name
divorce,
was
murder
Leo.
trial?
No, it was a
I'm sorry.
horrible bankruptcy. And what they had to do to come out of that and make it all work, NBC did a reality show in 2005 on them called, and the book is called Staying in the Game. They called the reality show Mr. Mom. And so, and it went through what they had to go through to get where they are. And they certainly give God all the praise for what happened. And she'll talk about that tomorrow, what went on and the miracles that actually took place in their lives to get them where they are today.
You know, you said a horrible bankruptcy. I had a brother-in-law that had a wonderful bankruptcy.
Well, we'll have to talk about that tomorrow. You have to
Some people
explain
take
hers.
advantage of so many things. By the way,
Yeah,
Thursday, not Friday, the director that Rick and I have been talking about, Don Hampton, is going to be here, supposedly. And we'll also have a phone-in deal.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm trying to get Don here and listen to him.
Yeah,
and
so
he
we got a
can
lot of
correct
things
me
going
so
on.
many times.
He's got a good voice,
Thursday.
He
That
does.
man, oh, yeah, he does.
Can't rival yours. Speaking of encouraging words, though, let me mention this to you. And I know it's just sounding like a what are things that keep sounding like
Broken
the same
record?
thing? Thank you so
Okay,
much.
I'm here for
Broken
that.
record,
That's what I'm here
broken
for.
record. But see, when I get up of a morning to read something, I really don't like to depress myself because I've been depressed, through religions for many, many years. So I look at things that encourage me, and a lot of this, it all sounds like, well, Mark, didn't you say that? Well, yeah, because I'm encouraging myself as much as anything. And I read something today about, it started out depressing about people, your hopes and dreams are dying. And you say, God, this was something that was good. It was supposed to happen because it's good for me and it's good for you. And it just died. And I don't know why. And start feeling, bad. And then I think about, like right now, I'm 64 years old. You're in your late 30s. And Rick, I'm sorry, Cindy. Yeah,
Lie.
right on.
I'm sorry, God. Forgive him for the lie.
The chance, if you'd have told me when I was 16, Mark, you're going to be in Conroe in this internet radio broadcast, and there's going to be Rick Sellers here and Cindy Cochran. Signing with Cindy, oh my God. No, she wasn't doing it back there. And
No,
Dick
thank you.
here, I'd say, no way. But our paths, wherever they came from, whatever we were doing, Rick was in California one time, it ended up here at this particular moment. One thing changes, whoa, I don't know where we are, I don't know who we are, or what we're doing this with. But I read this morning, and and it kind of relates to disappointment, or how the heck did this all happen? And this guy named Philip Keller, I could not pick out of a lineup. I don't know who he is. I don't even know if he's still alive, but I read this quote from him. He said, "It takes some of us a lifetime to learn that Christ, our good shepherd, knows exactly what he is doing with us. He understands us perfectly." I don't understand me at all. But the thought, if I can just keep that in mind, that, Mark, I said I got a purpose for you, and he who started good work in you will complete it. Just keep that in mind as you're going. I'll say this, why did this happen? And there I get disappointed. If I can think back, Mark, I know what's happening.
That's right.
No biggie. You're there. And I know, and I'm speaking from experience, how, disappointments in life, you can say, boy, God really messed me up with that disease or with this or that. And when and if stuff like that does happen to me, I'm sure I'll be in the same way, and I'll need Cindy and Rick to come up and say, Mark, hey, remember that line you mentioned that God knows what's happening and he's got it in control.
Now
That's what I need to remember.
Well, I'll just come up and slap you and say, get over
exactly.
it. Okay.
You call that gives you in the back of the head.
Get over it, for crying out loud. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
But listen, we are so blessed to be able to have Mark do these encouraging words at the end of each program, and we get him through it, because he starts out, we feel like, is everybody hiding any sharp instruments? Make sure all the sharp instruments are gone. But then by the end of it, when he comes through and he gives it back over to God, everything is usually okay, and he's able to walk out of here, and it's good.
My biggest fear of all of it is people to hear it and say, who the heck is he to tell me this?
You always preface it. You always preface it with,
because I don't know.
This is an encouraging word.
That's one of the good lines, I think, of Inherit the Wind. The man who knows everything is probably a fool. I don't know.
But we are winding down to the end of the program, and I want Richard Schischler to talk about what's coming up right after us.
Tonight's business will be coming up next on Lone Star Internet Radio with Cassandra Roshan of the Greater Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. She has two spectacular guests in. She's going to have
Courtney Gill.
Courtney Gill, the Cynthia Woodlands Mitchell Pavilion. She's spoken for the pavilion. And following that will be Charles G. Lee, sales director of the Conroe Courier.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Wow. Hey, where's my paper? I want my paper.
Don't go away. We'll see you tomorrow on the Mark and Cindy Show.
In Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in. Well, that's Mark and Cindy on Lone Star.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.